Hey parents, Dr. Krystal here, talking about 3 major issues that little ones have to go through and have to really master to get to the next level of their health. And we're going to be talking about eating, sleeping, and pooping today. This is a lot of information that we go over with our parents at the office concerning their children. Ultimately comes back to these 3 things, whether their child is still a newborn, infant, toddler years, or maybe they're coming to us in their teenage years. Sometimes we have to unpack and rewind back to these topics to really get to the root cause of what could have been causing their issues that they are now experiencing. So if we really think back to the 3 basics as a newborn baby and, small child, we see this all the time in the office, but now that I'm a mom myself as well, really got to experience these things firsthand, and really knowing how important these topics are make a huge difference in really understanding why your child might be having some of the symptoms that they're having now when we start to backtrack a bit. So if we start off with the basics of eating, we really look at, when a child is born with their, latch reflex, their ability to suck properly, swallow, and then digest food in a proper manner. It has to be done in those, specific sequence for a child to really get down the basics of eating, so that way they're getting enough nutrition for their body and not swallowing too much air and then causing gas and like all of these other digestive issues that can pop up along the way as well. So the basics of how the child started. A lot of issues with babies come from the birthing process itself. That's a tough road for babies to have to come through the birth canal, have that pressure on the head and neck for delivery. And in 90% of more of babies are shown to have misalignments in their upper cervical spine right from birth. So these studies are performed by non-chiropractic studies, which is even more interesting that, medical doctors look into these things as well and are noticing that those misalignments can cause detrimental effects later down the road if left uncorrected. So getting that upper cervical spine checked is what we thrive for our little ones. TMJ issues, jaw problems, all of those things can lead and cause digestive problems or issues with the basics of eating as an infant at an early age. So textural issues later down the line, sensory disrupt is also focusing back on that eating problem. And then we move into the sleep patterns, which are developed very early on in age, and not getting a proper sleep, even for an infant, really plays an impact on their growth and development. Sleeping is so important, as parents that don't get it will know, because if a child is not sleeping, of course the parents aren't getting any sleep as well. I understand how that goes too. That is a imperative time for rejuvenation, healing, and really that developmental time for the brain and body to start catching up to each other and having all of those good things that happen during a good night's sleep in a baby. Sometimes we see young children later down the line where parents cannot even think back to a time where their child has had a good night restful sleep. And then we backtrack, like I said, to maybe birth years of how has your child been developing over the years? Have they ever been a good sleeper? And sometimes going back to these basics again points us in the right direction of what could be going on. We see sleeping issues in all ages, even in the older years, maybe bedwetting issues still happening at, after the appropriate time when that should have kind of weaned itself off, and just not getting proper rest to be able to function at school, concentrate properly. Coordination is off if that body's not getting enough rest and sleep, rejuvenating time during the night to prep itself for the next day properly too, just lethargic and tired all the time. So if these things are ringing true and sound familiar, you're not alone. So many parents experience these issues hoping that their child will just eventually grow out of it, or not really knowing where to turn after things have been going on for a while now, and we really can't pinpoint what's causing these things. This is why we tend to have to backtrack and unpack these issues from infancy that are creating them down the line. So what really draws it in together is the digestive system. So moving along into that pooping part of, those normal things that a child should be doing on a regular basis. Babies don't do a whole lot other than needing to eat, sleep, and poop regularly. If they're doing that, we're in good shape, but a lot of times that is not the case. So if digestion is an issue and your child is not regular, or they're constantly constipated, or having a lot of food allergies, food sensitivities, all of these things down the line, if you really think about all three of those categories, come back to the nervous system. The nervous system is the master controller. Brain, spinal cord, those nerves that go out to all the organs, those are the things that are in control of these processes to be happening properly. And that's what we look at. The information that people get in the office when their child is checked, and using our state-of-the-art technology to help analyze the nervous system in a very safe, non-invasive way, is what we do every day in our office. And we've been able to help so many children and ultimately their family and parents just be able to get the answers they need and be able to get a better night's sleep as a family as a whole, watch their child actually thrive and develop properly, and start to see these amazing benefits of regular chiropractic care from a young age. So if that is important information for you, please contact the office. If you have any questions or comments, whatever it may be, give us a call, give us an email, check us out on Facebook or our website, share this information with a family member or friend that could benefit from hearing it as well. We are all about helping families thrive and grow into being healthy adults. As children growing, we love taking care of babies and kids and families, and we hope this information is helpful and that you can find the answers that your family is looking for as well.